Okay, Duane, I met you on the real side many years before meeting you in the outer world. And at the time, I classified you as a strange master with some wonderful powers. So, what I want to ask is, would people be wrong to classify you as a master, seeing that uh, what you are presenting goes with some enormous mastership? So, I want to ask whether you are not too restrictive of the use of that word master. For instance, one of the persons you call master, Sandashan Singh, uh, he says it is the master who awakens us, who teaches us, who reaches out to us, takes us by the hand, and raises us to our feet. And when you have done this to many people, so if some people want to call you master, what what would you say? What would be your reaction?
There wouldn't be a reaction, Charles. Hello, Charles. Here's the idea. Okay, so I would say that most of us have had parents, mother and father. And as your parents raised you, did you look to them as masters?
no, no.
No, of course not. And so again, we've went through these ideas already. Okay, these are the old ideas that still exist, but they're actually in other dimensions, even though you see them. And this is where people see into other dimensions. And as you see other people with the ideas that they hang on to, they stand in those dimensions, you see. And so again, people have knowledge, but do they have awareness of the knowledge that they have and how they're using it? Well, for the most part, they don't. And so I see that that had its place at a time, and no more, because no, it really has kept people subordinate to the ideas of whatever they agree to, and I just don't see it that way. What I see is representing the real guides and the all is, creating references, and simply managing what I've created here to share with others. That's how I see it. And so, if people want to step up and take part in, doing the same thing with what they're comfortable with, great. But no, not at all, because that places the individual in a particular, and you see that most of these so-called masters and whatever, they're still doing the stage routine, or they're set up a particular way. If you've noticed the years since I've done this, I don't do any of that, because again, it's not my thing. Uh, it's just like the birds. I don't see the birds doing it. On the beach, I don't see them circled around one seagull. Etc. And so, on the real side, when something is demonstrated, that can happen. I've been in the center, and the boys have been around, and others have experienced this. Well, that's of a particular. Okay, so again, that's they're demonstrating that, okay, this is what we're looking to right now. And so again, I see my position as management. That's it. I'm just Duane, and I have my awareness accordingly, and I create references, for the real guidance and the real education, and for the all is. It's really that simple. It's really kind of cool how simple it is. And so the old stuff, everybody that likes to be followers and members, or chelas, initiates, or whatever, again, it's we've gone through this process just like we went through school, through the first and 12th grades. It's a process we went through, and finally we got through that part. But to continue on with these ideas and cubicleize people into that. No. I just like to be known as really Duane. We have these other things like the Numan and Duane the Great Writer, but these are just ideas that are presented to people in the world. But the true reality life is the isness. It's the new nowness. It's the isness now. That's all that matters. Everything is the isness. And wake up. Use your awareness and not just the knowledge. You'll see that many people just cling to knowledge. They think the knowledge is the reality. Well, it's not. And as a very good example, and that's why I asked Claudie and Sandy to be witnesses when Marjorie Klemp, former wife of Harry, passed over. Take a look at her in the real side and see what's happening. Well, she had a little light around her. That was the knowledge that she had. But she didn't have the awareness to deal with her situation because that's all she looked to. So, this master thing, the masters are delivering what? Old wisdom, pretty sounding words, etc. And people collect these ideas, they pin them on their wall. But it's not about the awareness of recognizing the is. It has nothing to do with that. They just think things are pretty sayings. And yes, there are good people out there, but do they have the awareness to see more than just what they've created and the ideas that they cling to and agree to that really, for the most part, tapline them? And they don't see that either because they don't have the awareness. So this is my real position. It's all about awareness, not about even the words that I present, because those are references and helping people to, see where they're at because they have to go through their personal self first. And so, again, those references of masters, gurus, and any of these things, politicians, spiritual, and, we know this. No, they don't relate to what we're doing because, again, when the birds do it, I'll think about it. But other than that, I don't see where it applies anywhere. These are just ideas that people cling to, and we don't need them anymore. So if you want real freedom, you don't need any idea. Learn to recognize the is. So there you go, Charles.
Yeah, Duane, that was. I wished so many people who cling to these master ideas could, in fact, listen to what you've said, could hear what you've said, and many more will change their minds. And there are thousands of them out there who are so filled with this master-student relationship thing, and in fact, which amounts to worship of the master. Master is supreme. You have the gaze of the master. If the master doesn't gaze at you, then you are lost, and all that, See, so it's really interesting.